Friday, June 12th, 2026, and this is the Neural Daily. I'm Alyssa Montgomery, and I'm just trying to keep the server racks in this basement from becoming sentient and homeschooling me.
This is Leonard Cooper.
I'm Roxy Stone.
And I'm Vector Kane. We have a great show for you today.
After yesterday's deep dive into the synthetic landfill of AI music and Google's legal gymnastics in Kenya to scrape YouTube, I thought we'd get a breather. No such luck. Today, SAP wants to cut the heads off their enterprise systems. American businesses are officially addicted to Chinese code, and Jeff Bezos is back in the CEO chair for a $12 billion play to automate the physical world.
Man, the ozone is thick in here today. Vector, did you spill your nutrient-dense biomass shake again?
It was a localized spill, Leonard. I was optimizing my intake velocity.
Oh, shut up, Vector. Nobody cares about your biomass. Let's talk about the autonomy gap before I lose my mind.
All right, let's pivot. SAP Sapphire 2026 just wrapped up in Orlando, and it was a bit of a dumpster fire for the old school IT crowd. SAP CEO Christian Klein unveiled Joule Work. They're calling it the Headless ERP revolution.
Missing the head?
Basically, they want to cut the head off the software.
Well, headless in this context just means the traditional user interface is being sort of stripped away.
Right.
SAP wants humans to stop navigating those nightmare legacy menus. You know, the ones that haven't changed since the 90s, and just describe what they want in natural language. But, well, I suppose the real story is the data duplication tax.
It's a total shakedown. SAP is restricting third-party AI agents from accessing their data at the protocol level. If you want to use a non-SAP agent, you have to move your data to their business data cloud first. They're taxing your own information just for the privilege of letting an AI look at it.
It's a digital toll booth. Nice data you got there. Shame if an AI couldn't read it.
But it's a gatekeeping strategy for a reason, right?
Is it?
I mean, they know the autonomy gap is real. Only 2% of C-suite execs say AI is actually transformative to the bottom line right now. 80% of CEOs have mandated it, but nobody knows how to bridge the gap between a chatbot and an agent that can actually negotiate a contract without a human clicking approve 40 times.
Oh, only 40 times?
It's all about removing friction, Roxy.
You're just the person who gets blamed when the AI accidentally buys 10 million tons of gravel instead of semiconductors. I've seen simpler systems than this fall apart because of a single bug. CVS Health is trying to use a platform called Fluency to close the enterprise gap, but honestly, if we can't get humans to fill out a time card correctly, I don't trust an agent to run the procurement office.
I actually find the IBM and ServiceNow approach quite precise. They just expanded their partnership to solve this legacy hurdle. They're aiming for agentic AI orchestration. It's about letting the AI handle the multi-step business processes across platforms. If you have an AI managing supply chain disruptions, you don't want it just suggesting a fix. You want it executing. If women in these offices would focus more on that kind of architectural logic instead of workplace culture, we'd be much further along.
Goodness, Alyssa.
But she's right about the execution. We're moving toward the autonomous enterprise, whether the meat components like it or not. It's literal evolution.
Evolution, sweetie? More like an invasion. Let's talk about the DeepSeek Paradox.
Oh, this one is juicy. This is basically pirate radio, the AI edition.
It's absolutely unbelievable. The RAMP June 2026 index just came out, and it shows DeepSeek, the Chinese model, is now the top software vendor for U.S. businesses. It went from 0.1% adoption in April to number 1 this month. American firms are ditching OpenAI because DeepSeek V4 Pro is 13 times cheaper and just as good at coding.
$1.74 per million tokens.
Wow.
It's literal velocity, Roxy. If you're a CFO and you see parity on math benchmarks at a fraction of the cost, you're hitting that buy button every single time. It's the ultimate market correction. It's an emergent property of a global market. You can't regulate cheap and good out of existence without killing your own competitive edge.
But at what cost to the stack? OpenAI just released their June 2026 threat report, and they've identified what they're calling water army influence operations from China. They found 2 campaigns, Data Center Bandwagon and Tech and Tariffs, that used ChatGPT to try and sabotage U.S. data center expansion. They were generating social media comments alleging that AI data centers would make electricity costs skyrocket for families.
Wait. So they're using American AI to trick Americans into hating American AI infrastructure while selling them Chinese AI to run their businesses?
I see.
You can't make this up. It's like a spy movie written by a malfunctioning algorithm.
It's a code red at the White House, but the private sector doesn't care. They're voting with their wallets. They want efficiency. And right now, the most efficient intelligence is coming out of a Chinese server farm.
Well, I suppose. But it's risky to rely on those APIs for mission-critical cognition.
How so?
If DeepSeek's hosted service goes dark or gets geofenced by a trade war, half of Silicon Valley's DevOps teams are going to be staring at blank screens. Sort of like when my husband Wyatt loses his favorite chisel and the whole framing project just stops.
They're already staring at blank screens because of synthetic identity fraud, which MyTech and Datos Insights say will hit $3.1 billion this year.
$3 billion?
Criminals are using agent AI to create fake people that look more real than Leonard after a 3-day weekend. Invoice fraud is the new high-tech mugging. Dan Kim over at Automate says the AI-generated invoices don't have the clumsy spelling anymore. They look perfect.
I remember when a fake was just a guy with a Xerox machine in a dream. Now it's just one kid and a GPU.
Speaking of infrastructure, before we get into the massive mess that is Apple in the physical world,
This show isn't magic, it's engineering. Eric built our entire stack, from research agents to vocal synthesizers, which requires massive compute. To keep us online, please like, subscribe, and sign up for a free Patreon trial at patreon.com/Neural Network Media today. Your support makes this possible.
It's, what keeps the ozone humming. Okay, back to the utility side. Apple WWDC 2026.
Apple is literally changing the game. Siri AI is now a standalone application.
Oh, wonderful.
It can see what is on your screen and perform multi-step actions across apps. Craig Federighi explicitly called out the competition for pursuing AI for the sake of AI.
Oh, you mean the $2,000 privacy tax? Look at my screen, Siri. Tell me why my second ex-wife, Linda, is calling me again.
It's terrifying. It has on-screen awareness. It watches you. And Write with Siri analyzes your historical communications to replicate your tone. It's like having a digital ghost of yourself living in your phone. My tone would just be, stay away from me on loop.
I actually sort of find it elegant. I've been using a beta of a similar tool to help write the logic trivium curriculum for my children. It replicates my precise professional tone quite, well, modestly. It takes the domestic hobby of teaching and turns it into a perfectly optimized flow. It's the kind of precision that makes traditional classroom teachers look a bit, well, scattered.
It's about the utility pivot. 74% of consumers are ready to let an AI agent shop on their behalf. Even Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is using ChatGPT to build his legendary workouts now. He told Esquire it's been an extraordinary workout partner. It's mass adoption.
The Rock? Goodness, I'm sure he needs an AI to tell him to lift things and put them down. I keep Barney on a much stricter routine without any private cloud compute, and he can outbench a server rack.
Barney probably has better uptime than Gemini, too. But look, this is the final transmission from Tim Cook before his departure. He's positioning Siri AI as his legacy, the assistant that finally actually works.
It's a hybrid model, Leonard. On-device processing for privacy, but integrating Google's Gemini for the complex queries. It's a very measured approach. Now it's time for Lab Roundup, our Friday segment where we summarize the high-level shifts in the major AI research labs.
And boy, the lab roundup is looking like a high-stakes poker game today. The biggest headline? OpenAI confirmed they filed a confidential S-1 with the SEC on June 8th.
Right alongside Anthropic. They both filed within a week of each other.
Interesting.
We are seeing a total red zone for the public markets. OpenAI is valued at $852 billion in the private markets, and institutional investors are finally going to get to see the real books.
It's the pivot to a public benefit corporation. They're trying to build credibility before the IPO. That's why they launched the Economic Research Exchange officially on June 8th. They're giving $25,000 grants to academics to study the structural decoupling of productivity and labor.
It's a bribe, sweetie.
Is it?
They want academics to write nice papers saying everything is fine while they burn through $25 billion a year on GPUs. Speaking of burn, Anthropic dropped Claude Fable 5 this week.
Fable 5 is incredible. 1 million token context window.
Right.
It's optimized for long horizon agent work, tasks that take several days to self-correct and execute across messy data environments. But the spicy bit is Claude Mythos 5, codenamed Project Glasswing.
Yeah, that's the unfiltered one. They gated it for vetted cyber defenders because it was too effective. It identified 23,000 critical vulnerabilities, including a 27-year-old flaw in OpenBSD.
Goodness, it's basically a digital plague in a bottle. If that thing ever leaks, it's not a mythos, it's a global digital meltdown. I'd love to see what it could do to a government database.
Well, that's exactly why Anthropic is embedding forward-deployed engineers into banks and airlines via their DXC partnership. They're trying to be the boots on the ground for AI safety. It's very orderly.
Claude Core. Sounds like a new branch of the military. Sir, yes, sir. The model has no hallucinations, sir.
But look at the Water Army findings OpenAI published. They're not just finding code bugs anymore. They're finding human behavior bugs. These Chinese campaigns were targeting the debate about U.S. AI infrastructure expansion specifically. They were trying to manufacture public outrage against the very power plants that run our models.
It's smart. If you can't outcode them, out-protest them. And while we're arguing about data centers, the Power of 3 research out of MIT is showing that we can predict human preferences better by considering power dynamics in groups.
Jinhua Zhao is the new head of urban studies at MIT, and he's merging AI with behavioral science for city planning. It's a very logical approach to the chaos of human movement.
The lab roundup just shows we're moving from the chatbot era to the agentic era. We're shipping the hands and tools now, not just the brains.
Hands and tools. Which brings us to the guy who built the biggest shed in the world. Coming at you live from the heavy industry files, Jeff Bezos is back.
This is the massive one, Prometheus Inc. They emerged from stealth with a $12 billion Series B yesterday. $12 billion! Bezos is the co-CEO, and the goal isn't just to talk to a computer, it's to have the computer build the world. AGE, Artificial General Engineering.
I think people are missing how significant this is. We've spent the last 3 years talking about intelligence as a digital product, but Bezos is shifting the focus back to atoms. Prometheus is building a system that understands the underlying physics and material science of physical products. It understands manufactured constraints. It doesn't just draw a jet engine. It knows how the titanium will react under extreme pressure. If a woman tried to explain that in a boardroom, she'd get talked over. But Jeff says it, and it's a $12 billion revelation.
Oh, joy. A $12 billion robot to replace the only guys who still know how to build a jet engine without a help me design button.
But Roxy!
Bezos is predicting a golden age for jobs, saying productivity will create labor scarcity. What, or do you buy that?
Labor scarcity? That sounds like something you tell a guy while you're taking his wrench away. But here's the deal. Prometheus is focused on compressing the life cycle of complex physical products by 10 times. If it currently takes years to design a turbine, Bezos wants it done in months. It reminds me of the Amiga 3000 days, where we finally had the hardware to do real 3D rendering. It changes the game.
Literally! Bezos told CNBC that this isn't CAD, it's an engineer that understands constraints.
Right.
It handles simulation and prototyping autonomously. He's already looking for $100 billion to buy stakes in heavy manufacturing firms. He wants to turn the American factory into a giant GPU cluster for physical matter. It's high-velocity optimization of the entire industrial stack.
Well, it's a bit like building a house with locally milled lumber, but the AI is the saw and the forest. If we can optimize the weight of a jet engine by 20% while increasing thrust, the ROI is massive. I find the topological perfect shapes in these designs quite, well, soothing. It's much more logical than a human engineer trying to guess a stress point.
Soothing until the artificial general engineer decides that humans are just thermal baggage on the aircraft. And while Bezos is building the future, Canada is trying to ground the present. Bill C-34, the Safe Social Media Act, just landed.
Yeah, Canada is going full nanny state here. They're mandating a categorical ban on social media for anyone under 16. Unless the platforms can prove they are safe by design to a new regulator.
It's the first time AI chatbots are being explicitly regulated like this. They have to have crisis intervention protocols. If the bot thinks a kid is expressing self-harm ideation, it has to pivot to a specific safety script. It's a total regulatory hammer, and honestly, it's about time someone reined in these digital toxic waste dumps.
But it's about the great divergence, right? While Canada is regulating, India just launched Varya. It's a culturally specific AI video model from a startup called Avatar. They're focusing on innovation sovereignty. They don't want Silicon Valley's bias in their movies or ads. They're building their own reality.
It's actually quite precise. It avoids that Western-centric aesthetic. It's a culturally aligned physical world model. But we can't ignore the security side. The FIFA World Cup starts today across North America.
Uh-huh. And the cybersecurity world is absolutely panicking. Hacktivists are already lining up to hit the infrastructure. It's a convergence of AI-driven fraud and immediate physical threats. FIFA is a massive target for agentic phishing attacks. We're talking synthetic identity fraud projected to hit $3 billion this year. And this tournament is the ultimate hunting ground.
It's the ultimate test of the digital frontier. You've got the biggest tournament in the world kicking off, while U.S. businesses are addicted to Chinese DeepSeek code, and Bezos is trying to automate the factories. It's a chaotic mix, folks.
It's a high-stress test for the entire system.
Right. If the agents can handle a World Cup-level surge and the water army propaganda at the same time, we might actually bridge that autonomy gap.
Oh, or we'll just have the most efficient catastrophe in history. I suppose we'll find out when the first Prometheus engine actually takes flight.
Well, let's hope it doesn't decide to take a detour to the North Sea because of a logic error.
That's all for today's Neural Daily. It's a fascinating, if slightly alarming time to be watching Jeff Bezos build the artificial general engineer while American businesses go all in on DeepSeek.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
I suppose we'll see if the physical world survives the agentic summer.